What's up, everybody? Nola Deej here, and I'm coming to you from Biloxi, Mississippi, and I'm here with my son DJ. Once again, surely you have heard of Barqs root beer. It's a very, very popular root beer all over the country, probably all over the world. But there's a little debate as to where Barqs root beer really got started, because guess what? They're both right, New Orleans and Biloxi. But first, I'm going to drink a little Barqs root beer. Cheers.
How is it?
It's delicious. Let's go find out where it was made. Biloxi, Mississippi. A city right on the beach. A beautiful town full of history. And there's people out here enjoying the beach, even though they're supposed to be social distancing. The beaches are open, and there's quite a number of people out here in certain areas of the beach. But look at that view. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous view in Biloxi. I love it here. To start off, let's go back to 1871 in New Orleans. Edward Charles Edmund Barq Sr. is born to French parents. At age 2, his family moved to France, but moved back to New Orleans when he was 7. And in 1884, they moved once again to France, and while there, he and his brother Gaston studied sugar chemistry at the University of Paris, and Edward became very interested in learning about flavor extracts. In 1890, Edward and Gaston returned to New Orleans and opened the Barq Brothers Bottling Company in the French Quarter. And unfortunately, the building no longer exists, but this is where Edward Barq would start making different types of soft drinks. Most notably was one called Orangine. And in 1897, Edward married and moved to Biloxi, Mississippi. There he constructed a small house, and in 1898 opened the Biloxi Artesian Bottling Works. So I'm driving through all these little back streets trying to find the location of the house, and this, I believe, is the street. Yep, there it is, right there on the left. The Biloxi Artesian Bottling Works. And right up the street from the beach, the building is still here. It doesn't look much different than it did. It looks like the front door area has been closed in. But the sign, the lettering for Biloxi Artesian Bottling Works is still there. Also, Barq's Pop and Jersey Cream, just like in the picture. It would be right here that Edward Barq would create and perfect his formula for root beer. Now, at the time, he didn't call it root beer because apparently Hires, which is credited as introducing root beer on a production scale, was trying to trademark the name root beer, and Barq didn't want to have any issues with Hires. But he would eventually call it root beer, and he produced and bottled his drinks right here in this little house. Barq's root beer was a hit and would become one of the all-time favorite soft drinks in the country. So the answer to the question of where Barq started, it technically was New Orleans, but the root beer that became so big was created right here in Biloxi. It looks like the side that used to be open with all the crates and everything has been closed in as well. It looks like it's going to become a Lucille's restaurant at some point. Maybe. And I don't remember seeing this chimney in the picture, so that must have been added later at some point. Now, in the 1920s, Prohibition made the sale of root beer skyrocket, and according to Barq's website, Edward Barq was heard saying, "Hot diggity dog," when this happened. And the historical marker that's here says that this is the birthplace of Barq's. Barq's root beer was created by Edward C. Barq Sr. in 1898 and produced on this site until 1936. And so one of the things I wanted to do was come out here to this building, drink a Barq's root beer right here on the grounds where Mr. Barq himself invented the formula for Barq's root beer.
How is it?
Delicious. Barq says bite. Thank you, Mr. Barq.
You're welcome.
The popularity of the soda made the production demand grow, and they no longer had the room to meet the demand here. So in 1936, Barq moved the operation to Lemieux Street, and it has definitely not been easy to find. I only have one picture to go by, And in doing my research, I have not been able to find an exact address. However, most of my research points it to Lemieux Street, just north of the railroad tracks on the corner. So in 1937, production ramped up, and it was too much for them to produce the root beer and bottle them out of that old house. So they came out here to Lemieux Street, built a brand new production facility, and I think it's right here at this spot, but I can't verify the exact location of where it was. But everything that I've read that it is on Lemieux Street, just north of the railroad tracks on the corner. Now this is the only thing that I could see, either here or here, that it might have been. I think this was the spot. Maybe it was here. I'm not entirely sure. And I thought maybe this building was the building that I saw in the picture, but it's not. I went up and looked at it up close. It is not the building. So I believe it was torn down to make way for this building. At this point, Barq started franchising out, and Barq's drinks were being bottled in various locations around the country. In fact, would eventually give the rights to produce and bottle Barq's in Louisiana. Production ramped up, and Barq's was being delivered all over. Now this is a picture of Ransom Earl Harper. This is from the early 40s, and it's a picture of him in his delivery truck, and he looks proud to bring the delicious soda to people. The Louisiana location was the only place that did not use the formula produced in Biloxi. It produced their own version of it. And from what I understand, the bottles that featured a red label were to designate they were from the Louisiana location, and the bottles with the blue label were produced from the Biloxi location for the rest of the country. And this building here is known as the Barq Building. This was where their offices were when they were running the production company here in Biloxi. And right up there you can see that's where all the old offices would have been for all the people working there that were in charge of the bottling company and production facility, including the Barq family themselves, right up there. The Barq family no longer owns it. In fact, it was purchased some time ago by someone and is currently renovating it and bringing it back to its former glory. You can see the stucco that was placed over the original brick now being removed in some sections. It's really cool to see the original detail on this building and all the exposed brickwork. And you can also see that a lot of the windows have been filled in for whatever reason over time. In 1970, the Barq Company moved its operation to New Orleans, and by the 80s, they were in 47 markets.
Barq's Root Beer.
Hey, what you drinking? It's the good time taste of Barq's Root Beer.
Barq's, the one with bite. What do you mean Barq's has bite? Johnny? What do you mean Barq's has bite? Johnny? What do you mean Barq's has bite? Oh, hey, man. What do you mean Barq's has bite? Here, try some of this. Ouch. I haven't seen him that excited since he got his heels. Ouch. You tell him, Johnny. You tell the world.
By 1993, they were in more than 400 markets all over the country, and their slogan at the time, Barq's, the one with bite. In 1995, the Coca-Cola Company purchased Barq's and moved the operation to Atlanta, and the rest is history. Barq's Has Bite was adopted, and Barq's continues today all over the world. Edward Barq Sr. died on May 23, 1943, right here in Biloxi, and he's buried here at the Biloxi Cemetery in this beautiful tomb. It was actually pretty easy to find right when I came into the cemetery. He certainly left behind a legacy that will go on for a very, very long time. So in his honor, I'm going to drink from my Barq's root beer. Thank you, Mr. Barq. Thank you very much for what you've left behind for us to enjoy. Thank you. So it all comes back to here, the beginning of Barq's root beer, right in this building here. And DJ is going to drink his bottle of Barq's right now. Go ahead.
Excuse me. Good.
Well, that's going to do it for us from out here in Biloxi, Mississippi. This was great, man, to see the history of Barqs root beer. If you like this video, make sure you click the little like button down below, and right next to it, subscribe. Subscribe to our channel and you'll get updates on whenever we upload a new video, go live, or whatever. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed a little lanyap.
From these who that's.
Yep. Go pass a good time.